What's up, guys? Today I'm here to talk about an artist that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and that is Rich Brian. If you're not familiar, he formerly went by Rich Chiga back in the day, like 2017, 2018. I think he changed his name right at the start of 2018. And he recently just dropped an album, and I just find it really, really cool that someone like him, where when he first came up, like that 2017, 2018 era, obviously there's a lot of people that were maybe making one or two songs that got traction, but beyond that, weren't really able to make anything stick or cultivate a fan base really beyond that. And he's a guy I'm sure people probably would have thought something similar, like when they first saw him, but has been able to really establish himself in the music scene. He hasn't released an album. Well, obviously the one just came out like this month sometime, but before that, it'd been like 2019 was his last like a studio album release. So quite a long time between releases, but I think that he's really, really dialed in creatively and been able to produce some pretty good bodies of work out of that. Like the 2019 album had really, really diverse sounds and range all over the place. Like you had stuff that kind of sounded like what he'd been making as far as like rapping, but then you had some like slower songs and some really, really cool collaborations he did as well. That Sailor project was just really, really quality and showed a lot of good growth from him. Unfortunately, he didn't release until just recently. I would have loved to hear some more music before that, but hey, better late than never. And he continues to show this streak of just creative growth, which I think is great. And I'm looking forward even more to whatever he does next. Like I said, this is a guy that I'm sure many people would have kind of just wrote off when they initially saw him, and are like, okay, this guy's gonna be like kind of like one dimensional, kind of maybe try to play into the Asian thing a bit, which is another reason I'm like impressed by his ability to cultivate the fan base that he has. Is let's be real, like for rappers, if you're not like in a certain image, then it's very possible that just the optics alone, people call you whack. That's the reason why someone like Nav, didn't reveal he was Indian or really show his face until he had already kind of, proven himself to people. And where now it's like, okay, well, you mess with the music, so now we can like let you know that this is what he really looks like, because you might just not even give him the proper chance otherwise. And I do think that, I mean, obviously I think Rich Brian has a good bit of an Asian fan base. I think, people that relate to him in that way definitely tend to like his music. So he does have that. But I feel like there's a lot of people that, don't necessarily relate to him on that level, and still like myself, I am, not of Asian descent at all. And I really like his music, and I think that he does a great job at experimenting and changing up his sound and really just pushing his own creative boundaries. So that's always welcome to see, especially in like this era where it feels like a lot of people kind of are very creatively safe. They don't want to make anything that's too alienizing to their audience, or something that is just so drastically different that their fans don't mess with it. But he's not afraid to make the music he wants to make, or taking breaks in order to achieve the proper vision that he wants. Like, it's been like 6 years since his last album. He's put out some smaller projects here and there, but other than that, hasn't really dropped anything. So that's always risky when you're someone like him. Just no shade, just not necessarily as big or have a fan base that's necessarily guaranteed to stick around and wait for you to do something. So I'm glad to see that it seems to have worked out for him. I feel like I saw some good word of mouth of the album online. But let me know what you guys think about Rich Brian. Is this an artist that you we're looking forward to from getting another project from? Are you at all surprised by the amount of growth he seems to have shown during his career? But yeah, thanks for tuning in. See ya.